Today I want to talk about two-factor authentication. And what two-factor authentication is, it's a way to tie your password with something you have in your hand, like your cell phone. So before I get started, let me just say that my name's Terry Rossi. I'm from Pix iTech, and we are an IT services company. We help companies, increase their profit, improve their efficiency, and just do well overall with technology. So if that's something that could help your business, I encourage you to call us at callpix.com. That's callpix, P-I-C-S.com. Two-factor authentication is something you know, like your password, username and password, coupled with something you have, like your cell phone. And the something you have for an online service is your cell phone, and then usually you get a code that you need to know that code to log in. In the real world, in the offline world, if you will, it might be something you have, like your ATM card, and something you know, like your PIN code. Or I have a TWIC card, which is a Transportation Workers ID card, and that allows me to get into ports and airports to work on computers. So with that, I have an ID card with my picture on it, and I have a PIN. So that's another form of offline two-factor authentication. So really helpful to tie data that's out in the wild, like your username and password, with something you should keep in your head, like your PIN. So how does it work for an online service? Well, pretty easy. You get prompted for your username and password, then your phone will respond with a message like, hey, are you trying to log into Facebook, for example? And you say yes or no. In this example picture at the top, it's a check mark or a X sign. So if you hit the check, boom, you're logged in. Facebook lets you log in. In other applications, it's your username and password, and your phone will get a code. Maybe you're not using an app. Maybe you're using the SMS or the texting feature on your phone. You'll get a code, and you'll type that code in, and that'll let you in. Still super simple. So where can you use it? You can use it on Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, PayPal, your bank, and a million other places. Any company that holds your data, your confidential data, your stocks, your bonds, your money, information about your friends, they ought to have two-factor authentication installed for you to use. So that's really important. The other thing is that this is not by no means a complete list, right? There's hundreds and hundreds of websites that allow you to turn on two-factor authentication, and you really should turn it on. So what do you need to use it? Well, you need your phone. That's the number one thing. You need your phone, and optionally an application, so an authentication application. There's one called Duo Mobile. There's Google makes one called the Authenticator. Microsoft also makes one called the Authenticator. They're all optional for, in most cases. Sometimes you need to actually use an app. And they all work for more than just the application listed. So the Duo app works with 20 different applications. The Google app works with 20 different applications. The Microsoft app works with many different applications. So you might end up with more than one of these on your phone, and that's not a terrible thing. It's just a small little executable that creates a code every 60 seconds. You don't necessarily even have to be online to use it, so it's not going to use your data plan or anything like that. It's a generated hash that comes out of a calculation that's stored in the application. So how easy is it to set up, or how hard is it to set up? It's pretty easy. I'm going to show you how to do it on Facebook, but essentially it's just, bang, 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 go here, go here, go here, set it up, and you're set up. So let me show you how that works. Here we go. So let me get logged in on my phone here, and I'll show you exactly how we can set up two-factor authentication on Facebook. So I'll just get logged into the phone and click on Facebook. From there, I want to click on this little hamburger menu down in the bottom right-hand corner. They call it a hamburger menu. It's those three lines. And then click on Settings, and then Security and Login. You'll see that there. And then from there, I want to click on either Use Two-Factor Authentication or Set Up Two-Factor Authentication. Either one takes me to the same place. And once I click on that, I'm going to get a Getting Started blue box there. And that's how you start the process to set up two-factor authentication. You have two choices. You can get your authentication message via a text message or via the authentication app. I'm going to choose the authentication app, but I'm not going to do it on my cell phone. I'm going to do it on my desktop, and I'll show you why. Because once I click on that authentication app, I'm going to get what's called a QR code. And you might have seen QR codes in the past, but maybe not known what they are. They're a special kind of barcode that thing your phone can read. Other things can read it too, but your phone can read. And they save you from doing a lot of typing by just being able to scan that code. Because I'm on my phone, I can't scan the code and show you the code at the same time. So I'm going to do it from my desktop and scan it from the phone. So just give me 1 second. I'll get logged into my desktop and I'll show you how that looks from Facebook on the desktop. So here's Facebook on the desktop on a Mac. And again, I'm going to go over to the settings menu, which is a down arrow on the desktop. I'm going to go down to settings. Then I'm going to click on security and login in the left-hand side. And then again, same choices, set up authentication or use two-factor authentication. I'm going to click on either one of them. Then click the getting started button. Then again, I have my two choices, text authenticator or an authentication app. And I'm going to use the authentication app because I like that. I actually like the app called Duo Mobile, because it's real simple. When you log in, it's just going to prompt you for either a checkbox or an X. So really easy. You don't have to type in any codes or anything. So now I'm going to use my phone and scan this QR code. And what that's going to do is, because I'm in the Duo mobile app on my phone, I hit plus, and then I just scan this QR code, and it's going to know that that's my authentication key for Facebook. So let me just do that, and then we'll see how that works. So, okay, now that I've done it, it's given me back a 6-digit code on my phone, and Facebook wants that code. Remember, that code's only valid for 60 seconds, so I got to get the code right away, and then boom, I'm in. It's just that simple. Two-factor authentication is all set up. My account is now protected. I need my cell phone and my password to be able to log in. So that's it, two-factor authentication. Really simple to set up, as you can see. It's almost, it's that simple on all the different applications, Amazon, Google, etc. I encourage you to get started with it right away. And if you're a business and you need to get this going in your company, please give us a call at callpix.com. We'd be more than glad to talk to you about how we could help. I got a comment on this recording take number 3 today from Chris Zecca, and Chris works for a large firm out in California, and they have over 150 users, and he commented that it's mandatory for them to have two-factor authentication turned on for all their company apps. I think that's a really wise move because, the big problem with this, and we see this time and time again, clients come to us and one particular user has a bad password that gets leaked out into the wild, gets on the dark web, and then all of a sudden they use that same password for their company account. So now their company's infiltrated, and it really puts the company at risk. So any one user in your company could be your biggest source of problem, and unfortunately that's usually the problem, right? Usually it's the user that's the weakest link and it takes down the security of the IT group or the company. So don't be that guy. Put two-factor authentication on all your stuff. Make sure that your company uses it. If they're not familiar with it or don't know how to use it, ask them to reach out to us. Callpix.com. We'd be more than glad to help. So that's it for today.